of income. So let me say something that may shock you, and that is that one income stream is too close to having nothing. This is true for everyone, and especially for women. So I want to ask this one question, and that is that if anything should go wrong, maybe your salary stops, your husband's business slows down, that contract ends, what will happen to you? What will happen to you financially? And that is the reason why I'm having today's topic, and that smart women don't wait for crisis. Smart women create options even before anything happens. So I want to welcome you back to Women and Our Money series. This is episode 8, and tonight we're looking at how can smart women create multiple streams of income rather than just relying on one source of income. Because like I have said, having one source of income is close to not having any form of income at all. If something should happen to that just one source, it means that we may not be prepared. It means that we may not have the same kind of life. I mean, the lifestyle that we're having before the business collapse, before the salary stops, before, that main source collapse or even ends. So we're talking about smart women creating income streams, without losing their peace, without losing their minds, without becoming, without burning out. So what I want to do this evening is to show us exactly the blueprint of how one woman can have multiple streams, can have up to 4 streams of income, how a woman can build layers of income without burning out, without stressing out, without, losing everything. So hello once again, this is Modupe Vincent, and this is Money Matters with Modupe. Everything we do here is all about money. It's all about business. It's all about, how to be money wise, how to achieve your financial independence, how to achieve your financial freedom, doing it the right way without burning out. So this evening, once again, it's about how smart women can create multiple streams of income without burning out, doing it the right way. One woman having 4 layers of income. So these are the 4 things I want to look at this evening. So please, as you join me, let me know your name, and please let me know where you are watching from. If this is the first time of you watching me coming across Money Matters with Modupe, please like, please share, and don't forget to subscribe to get money knowledge from here. So the very first thing I want us to know, this is our series. We're having Women and Money series conversation. This is episode 8, and we have 3 more episodes to go. So the very first thing I want to talk about this evening is that smart women start with stability, not random hustles. What we want to do is, how can I, as a smart woman, how can I create multiple streams of income, knowing fully well that just having one source of income is close to not having any source of income at all. So the first thing we should do is that we should start with stability. What do I mean? If you don't have any form of income at all, then start with something. The first question should be, how do I get income? How do I earn money? Can I get a job? Anything that will give you stability is what you should be starting with, especially when you are trying to create multiple streams of income. Start with one is what I am saying. Start with something that will give you stability. If you need to get an employment, get an employment. If you want to start your business, but ensure that you start with stability. not random hustle, not for you to do something today, you leave it, do something tomorrow, you leave it halfway, and that you are not standing strong. The first thing is stand strong, get stability. That stability is what will give you the foundation. Thank you so much, Onyekachi. Thank you for joining me. I'm very well, thank you. How are you as well? Let me know where you are watching from. Thank you for joining me this evening. Thank you so much. So the first thing is you must create stability. Have a solid foundation when it comes to your finances, when it comes to you getting income. So if you have to start with your salary, with your job, start with that job. And after that job, you begin to create other things on that foundation. We say that where a foundation is faulty, what can you do? Anything that is built on a faulty foundation, will eventually crumble, will eventually crack. And we're saying that as smart women, we want to create multiple income that will not hurt us, that will not harm us, but will enable us to become financially independent in the long run. Thank you so much from Ebony. Thank you so much. Thank you. If you have not yet subscribed, please like, share, and subscribe. My goal is to empower women, is to help women to become financially strong. My name is Modupe. If you're meeting me for the first time, I am a certified financial planner and also I'm a customary court judge. And I'm so passionate about seeing women equip themselves financially. Even if you're going to ask for help financially, you should be able to also stand on your own. That is what this Women and Money series is all about. So multiple streams of income is not about you doing everything. It's not about you hearing that something is happening here, people are making money from this business or from this thing, and then you run into it, and then tomorrow you hear something else, and then you run into it again. No, what we're saying is, please start with stability. Have something solid, have something that will bring in income to you, something that is constant, something that is fixed, something that maybe every month or twice a month will always bring regular income to you. So that is the first point, that smart women start with stability, not random hustle. And I also want to say this, that multiple streams of income is not that you must do everything. That is not what I mean. What I mean is that have something solid, and afterwards you start creating other multiple sources. And we're going to look at how can I create multiple sources that I'm talking about. So the second thing that I want us to know, after the point that we must have stability, the second thing is that smart women don't always do something new. No. I've heard of people who say that, oh, I have just 24 hours. So how can I have a job and at the same time have a second job if all I have is just 24 hours? So what we are looking at is that the second thing that I'm saying is that it does not, in creating multiple source of income, other streams, it does not necessarily mean that you must have or start something new. I'm going to give examples. For instance, if you are a hairdresser, somebody who has a salon, you have a salon, people come to your salon to wash their hair, to plait their hair, to weave their hair, to do something. If that is the main thing that is bringing you money, you can say that that is your stability. And then starting from there, from that salon, from you being a hairdresser, you can also add other revenue sources, other income sources to that particular thing. For instance, you can start selling hair things. You can sell hair weaves, you can sell attachments, you can sell weave-ons and all that. That is second thing. Even from that salon, you can do other things. You can do pedicure, you can do manicure, you can sell beauty essentials that women who come to your salon will buy from. So creating multiple stream does not necessarily mean that you have to start something new. So you can just take off from that main thing that you do, that stable thing that brings income from you. You can create other income from that particular income. So that is the second thing, that as smart women, you don't necessarily have to create something new. So the option is that you monetize what you already have. Like I said, the woman who is the hairdresser, she can do that. She will monetize what she already has. She already has the shop. She already has women coming in as her customers. She already has the space. So rather than just washing hair, weaving hair and all that, she will just add other things. Other things that she has within her means all she would have to do is just to monetize it. So the first thing, don't forget, when you're starting to create a multiple sources for yourself, is that get something that will always bring in constant and regular income. The second thing is, the reason why we're saying this is so that you do not burn out, so that you do not stress yourself out, so that you can have peace of mind in pursuing having other multiple sources of income. And then the second thing that we are saying is that you don't necessarily have to start with something new. You already have other things. Monetize those things that you have. And so I'm saying now this evening that, please, my ladies, my beautiful sisters, please stop looking for side hustle and start looking at the superpower, the thing that you already have. For instance, like I said, I am a customary court judge. Before I became that, I am a lawyer. So I give legal counsel, I counsel people, I write as well. So rather than for me going out of what I already have and what I already know, what I did was, okay, in giving legal service, in advising people as well, I started writing, which is from my everyday job, and also to sell the books. So what I have done now is I have not completely gone to look for something different, something new. All I have just done is to look within me. What can I do that will bring me money as well, aside from just giving legal counsel, aside from just going out for representation, right? And then I started writing. And then from there, I also started speaking. It is one me, but I have different layers. And I monetize these different areas. And so that is what I'm asking you, my ladies, this evening, whether you are joining me live or whether you will be watching a replay of this live stream. The question is, what do you have right now in addition to what is bringing in income to you? If it's your regular job, I'm asking this evening, what else can you turn into a second stream? What else can also bring in money to you? Don't forget the question I started with this evening, that if anything goes wrong with your salary stops, your husband's business slows down, the contract that you are pursuing ends, would you still be able to do the things that you are doing? And that is the whole essence for this topic this evening: how smart women can create multiple streams of income without burning out, without stressing off. So let me ask you again, if there are questions people usually ask you, maybe they keep, picking your brain on something, asking you for something, then it is a good area for you to ask yourself, can I turn this into money? Can I monetize this thing that people are always asking me, questions on or about? See, there is money hiding inside of you, inside that competence. People always say that, oh, What do I have that people will want to pay money for? We tend to despise the knowledge that we have. We tend to despise the skill that we have. We tend to, look down on the thing that God has given unto us. And we look at other people and we say, oh, I wish I had this, I wish I had that. No. I usually will tell people, start to take inventory. Ask yourself, what knowledge do I have? What do I know that even somebody does not know? You don't have to be an expert in everything before you start saying that I want to create get income from it. I want to have another source of income from this particular thing. You don't have to be the best. Before I started my YouTube channel, I always tell myself, oh, maybe there are other people that know so much more than I do and all that. But later I realized that, look, compared to what I know, there are still a lot of people out there who don't know what I know. So me coming out to teach, me coming out to speak, me coming out to chat, I have seen that I have been able to be a blessing to other people. So I want to say, don't despise that thing that you have, that knowledge, that skill. Don't despise it. You don't need a new identity. You don't need to start to go and learn another course. See, what you have, take inventory of it, and what you also need is structure. How do you structure it? How do you work around what you have so that you can also monetize that thing? So the number 3 thing for us as smart women to create multiple stream of income is that we begin to build assets and not just hustles. Asset is something that will continually bring in money. It will bring in money to you. It will grow in value and it also bring in money to you. So when you are thinking of creating multiple streams of income, the major thing you must have is that I must create an asset. I must create something that will continually bring in money to me. Like I said, it is not about you going to get another job. And let me just quickly say here that the kind of incomes that we earn, they are different, right? We have what we call the active income, and we also have what we call the passive income. The active income is when you go to work, you get paid. It's like no work, no pay. So if you don't show up, no pay. That is what we call active income. It is also known as earned income. This is what we salary earners earn. This is what the kind of income that people who own their business earn. If you don't go to work, like the example of the person who has a salon, like the person who trades, if you don't go to that work, you are not able to earn. And so what I'm saying tonight is, I have said have a stable income, something that will generate money to you regularly. I have said that you don't have to look for a new thing before you start making another source of income. I have said from that thing, create other incomes from there. And the number 3 thing that I'm saying is, try, when you're trying to create multiple streams of income, build assets, build things that will bring in money. You will do the work upfront and then it keeps bringing you money. For instance, I've talked about the passive income. This comes from your investment. If you have shares, it is what comes from the dividend that you earn, right? For instance, somebody who has written a book, you have your royalty, right? Because you have written that book once. But anytime there is a sale of that book, what happens? Money comes to you. Let's take the example of the landlord. The landlord, how many times do you build that building? You build that house. It is just once. But know that you keep earning rental income. If it's every year, if it's depending on what the kind of lease that you have. What I mean is, you have built once, you keep earning from it. And I'm saying to us as smart women, that is the kind of income that we should be looking at. We should be looking at assets. like said, becoming a landowner, becoming having houses. It could be commercial, it could be Airbnb, but things that will you commit to once, but they will keep generating money to you, over and over again. Right. I hope um um I am making sense. I hope that as I'm speaking this evening, you are thinking about it. You are asking yourself, what else can I do? As this we're moving towards the end of this first quarter, I want us as women in this community to look back and say to ourselves, this is what I have been able to achieve financially. This is what I've been able to accomplish. So as women, smart women, we have to move from just earning that salary, from just earning that income, to a point whereby we're thinking of investments, we're thinking of digital products, we're thinking of rental income, we're thinking of intellectual property. These are the forms of multiple streams of income that I want us to look at here. I don't want us to start, relying on just our salary. What happens when that salary stops? So we need to start thinking of, I must create assets that will keep generating income to me, for as long as possible. We all live in houses. Let me ask, for how long have you been living there? If you are a tenant, for how long have you been paying rent? That is what I mean. So as smart women, we have to start looking at investment, looking at digital products, looking at rental income, looking at intellectual property. So that is the number 3 thing. And I want to say that the job that we have that brings us the salary, the side hustle that we talk about, what that does is that it pays our bills, it meets our immediate needs. And what asset does is that it is there for us tomorrow. Assets buy back your time tomorrow. That is what it does. And I'm encouraging us, I'm persuading us that this is what we should be looking at, and this is what we should be aiming for. And the 4th thing that I want to discuss with us as smart women is that we should start thinking in layers. 1 me, 1 woman, 4 incomes. 1 woman, 4 incomes. That is what we should be looking at. Think in layers. Multiple streams does not mean that you must have 7 businesses, does not mean that you must have 10 businesses. What I'm saying is, what it looks like is 1 woman with 4 income sources. For instance, with the example I have been given, the first layer is your salary. Your salary. Maybe let's take the example of somebody who is a teacher. Her salary is when she goes to school and then she teaches and then the school pays her. So that is the first thing. It is your salary. Then the second thing for her may be, side things that she does. And then she gradually moves from that to the 3rd layer, which is investment. And eventually she moves to the 4th layer, which could be digital products. So it is you building income layer by layer, and you are doing so calmly, you are doing so intentionally, and you are also doing so strategically. And I'm saying again that dependence on just one person, maybe as a woman you are depending on your husband, or as a daughter you are depending on your parents, or you are depending on your employer, we're saying that it is risky financially. And depending on only one income source is also dangerous. Smart women don't build income for their ego. They try to build income for their peace, for stability, for comfort, and also for the future. So 1 woman, if that is the only thing you get from this evening, 1 woman with 4 income streams. You are building intentionally. You are taking responsibility. You are being strategic about what you are doing. And so that is why, for me, I'll say that for every woman, financial independence is not optional. It's not. You need to understand structure. You need to understand risk. You need to understand everything about your finances. You need to start building structure. You need to start taking responsibility for your finances. You need to be deliberate about the choices you make when it comes to your money matters. And as a woman here, if you have only one income stream, please don't panic. Don't panic. All I will say is, with that one stream that you have, please start building, start thinking. It is one layer at a time. So I want to ask this evening, what income stream do you currently have? What are you going to do about the next income stream? What are you going to do? How would you move from just that one stream? What skills do you have that you can turn into money? What experience do you have that you can turn into money? You just have to be strategic, and you have to start thinking out of the box. And so I have come to the end of today's episode of Smart Women, creating multiple streams of income. This is episode 8 of my Women and Money series. So I just want to encourage you, as a woman, even if you are a man, you have a woman in your life, please share this video. And if you need guidance, you need somebody to take you through, to explain more to you, please reach out to me. So I want to say thank you so much for joining me this evening. Onyedikachi Wisdom. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm grateful, and for every other person who has joined me on this live, but you have not said anything, but I see you. I am saying thank you so much. Please don't forget to like, don't forget to share, and don't forget to subscribe as well. I have 3 more episodes for this Women and Money series. So thank you once again. Be money wise. I'll see you at the top. I'll see you tomorrow for episode 9. And I want to say, God bless you. Don't forget, be money wise.